This looks incredible.
I mean, that looks amazing. I'm like obsessed with my own work. Hey everyone, it's Steve here, global makeup artist for Urban Decay. And in today's masterclass, I'm gonna share my tips on how to achieve a fun, bold, colorful eye look with my beautiful model, Nav. In this masterclass, you're going to learn what products to use, different techniques, and what to do if things go wrong. If color makes you anxious and you're nervous to kind of get into it, I'm gonna show you how. All right, to create this look, you're gonna need 3 products: an eye primer, eyeshadow, and a liner. All right, I'm gonna start the look by priming the eyes, going in with the original eyeshadow primer potion. So priming the eyes is essential because not only does it mute the lid, but also it's gonna absorb all the oil so that when you apply your shadows and your liners, you're gonna have nice, bold color that lasts all day. And this is the original. Even though it is translucent, it does still slightly mute the eye so that it's giving you a nice blank canvas to work on. Also, if you're somebody who doesn't wear a lot of eye makeup, this is something still great to wear every single day because it's gonna keep your eyelids matte. So if you have the issue like myself, that you have really greasy eyelids, eye primer is key. At Urban Decay, we're constantly releasing new shades and colors. Today, I'm gonna be using the Naked Smiley palette, and this is in Mucho Happy. So whether you're doing a neutral or bold eye, I always start with a soft transitional shade, and this is gonna help everything kind of blend together and look cohesive. I'm gonna go in using the flat shadow brush and dip into shade Blast. So since she has more of a hooded eyelid, what I like to do is I like to tilt the head up slightly, and I'm gonna start placing the color starting on the outer corner, and in a stamping motion, apply this where the socket lies to create my crease. And then once the color is placed, we'll go in and blend. I'm using more of a tight condensed brush because I want my color saturation for the crease to kind of remain in one specific area. I don't want to blow out the color too much. Now taking the same shade, we're just going to apply on the lower lash line. And again, we're just going to apply it in that nice stamping motion. And then we'll go in and give it a slight blend. And take the shade and kind of extend outward for a nice even gradient. You know, from here, you can basically create any eye, whether you want to keep it neutral or go bold with color. This is a great base to start. So now that we've laid down our base, it's time to figure out what kind of look we want to create, what kind of colors we want to use. What are you feeling?
I'm kind of feeling like a party vibe.
Oof, I'm always down for a party. With party, I'm all about using all different colors, so let's go all out.
I love that.
You're in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, baby. To add a little shimmer to the lid, I'm gonna go in with our Moon Dust and Space Cowboy. This is great because it can be used as a topper or it can be used on its own as a base. So using my finger, I'm just gonna go ahead and go into the pan, and then we're gonna place this by just stamping it on the lid. And this is gonna give the eyes really beautiful 3D shimmer, but also it's going to give the illusion of more of a wet, shiny lid. I tend to use my finger because you're gonna receive the most payoff with the shimmer, and also it's going to prevent fallout. If you want more of a sheer shimmer, you can go ahead and use a fluffy brush, but if you really want the full impact of the Moon Dust, use your fingertip. For me, what I like doing is using color in unconventional ways. So I love adding a pop of color on the inner corner rather than your typical white or champagne tone. And this really takes your look to a fun and bold place while still keeping it really subtle. Using the same brush, I'm gonna go in with shade Smiley, which is this matte, bright yellow. And we're gonna apply it on the inner corner as you would a highlight. And if you're uncomfortable with color and don't use color shadows frequently, this is a great way to start incorporating color into your look, using it on the inner corner or even on your lower lash line. Both those techniques will work on every eye shape. Again, when you're working with color, just using that flat brush, I'm just stamping the color in the place where I want it to sit. With color, you really want to keep the pigment saturated, so I don't tend to blend too much. It's more about just placing that pigment in the areas that you want it to sit. See, even with just this, you can pop on a little mascara and we can end it here, but we're not going to. Now I'm gonna do something super fun while adding definition to the eye, going in with our new 24/7 inks. And these are going to give you precision that don't budge. Each one of these components has this ergonomic grip, so it literally just falls right into your fingertips. This is gonna allow precision while making the application super easy. So I'm gonna create a gradient liner using 4 different shades. I know, 4 different shades. Starting with Mucho Mucho, which is a matte yellow shade. Before application, give it a quick shake. And now we're ready to go. So I'm gonna start off by applying it in the inner corner, and we're just gonna lay this flat on the lash and begin creating a nice thin liner. These dry fairly quickly, so you don't have to wait too long. It should set within just a few seconds. And to get a nice clean line, I love laying the liner and the tip to its side. This way you can get a nice clean finish. And just gonna slide all the way through so you get that nice pigment payoff. And you know, I love that we have a yellow because it is actually one of the hardest shades to make in a liquid liner. Our product development team spent so much time perfecting this formula in order to get this really beautiful pigment. Once you have Mucho Mucho down, we're gonna go in with shade Freak, which is a lime green. And then using the same technique, we're just gonna go where we ended with the last shade and start to apply Freak along the middle of the lash. This is great for someone who does have a hooded eye because it dries so quickly, you don't have to worry about the liquid liner transferring to your lid. And because it's a liquid, it just flows. So you're gonna see that it blends into each other. So it goes really seamless from one shade to the next. Now for our 3rd shade, we're gonna go in with Binge, which is a matte baby blue. Again, same technique. We're just gonna blend Binge into Freak. And the design of these liners are made so that you get a smooth laydown of color, but in a very efficient, easy way.
Oh my God, I love that blue.
I know, it's so pretty. It's my favorite shade we have. And now to create the tail end of the wing liner, I'm gonna go in with a deeper shade, and this is Deep End. And this is going to give the eye that definition while bringing the whole look together. So when creating a wing liner, I always like to start off from the end of the lash and kind of flick my wing out, and then we're going to build from there. And I like to kind of have the eye open. Perfect. When applying my liquid liner, I tend to not tug on the skin or pull back or lift the eye too much because I want the placement to be exactly where I put it. Because once you let go of the skin, you're going to see that the placement is not exactly where you wanted it to be. And once you have your shape, all you have to do is fill it in. It's just all about getting the placement right. And for her, since she has more of a hooded eyelid, I didn't want to go too high up, which is why I start with the flick and then I kind of build my liner after that. Like let's say your eyeliner came out too thick or it's not sharp enough, you can just take a pointy Q-tip and that's the easiest way for you to be able to clean up your line and give you that precision. We finished our liner, but it just feels like something is missing. I always feel like when you're going in with bold, bright colors, you need something to contrast it. So applying our Perversion mascara is going to give the eyes that depth and definition to balance out the color. So I'm gonna lift and just start from the root to the tip. And I like to apply my mascara in a wiggle motion. This allows the mascara to coat the hair, but also separate the lash. And a tip, if you get mascara on your lid or on your eyeshadow, don't freak out. Just allow it to fully dry. Then you can take a clean spoolie and kind of just scrape it off. And check it out, you can see from one eye to the other, it just looks more complete and it kind of ties in all those colors because she has that depth along with the brightness. Now that the look is completely done, I want you to check this out.
This looks incredible.
Don't you love the colors, the transition of the different shades?
Yeah, it blends so seamlessly into each other.
And you know, it might sound scary to use 4 different colored liners, but using this technique and allowing them to blend into one another really makes it not so scary. And you know, if you didn't want to go this bold and you wanted to wear color in more of a subtle way, you can do that by just adding a colored liner as a flick of the wing on the outer corner, or even as we first started, using just the colored shadow on the inner corner of the eye as well. Okay, if I wanted to take this look up to the next level and go even bolder with color, I'd add maybe a teal or a blue to give it more of this colorful smoky vibe. Thank you so much for joining us. This is an easy way on how to create a bold, fun eye. All you need is an eye primer, some fun color, a mascara, and your creativity. If you want to get creative with color, you can head into your local Mecca store or jump online to learn more from Meccaversity.